so clearly I'm far from the first person to do this. Even before I knew what fan editing was, back when I was in 6th grade, Spider-Man 3 was being remade to death to form new cuts like these. I have a love-hate relationship with this movie. It's not the studio interference because frankly I feel like the themes of revenge and forgiveness, which were still going to be a part of the story back when Vulture was still a villain, work way better when you have a MacGuffin in the black suit. I have problems with its handling of the characters. Part of them is kept consistent, but we also have retreads such as Mary Jane struggling to find the one, her romance with Harry, and Harry's slow transformation back into the new Goblin following Deus Ex Machina.
Gotta be careful where you fall.
That and the fact that Venom is simply not in the movie enough or has much to do. It's not just Eddie's bare minimum of development before the suit, but after that, the relationship between him and the symbiote is never explored to the fullest potential. The problem can be solved without finding an old beaten copy of a novelization or gaslighting yourself into thinking you watched a better movie. No, that's not what yours truly tried and kind of succeeded in doing in the editing room. If I'm being honest, I was working on this thing since about 6th grade. I didn't know how to get movies by ripping DVDs, so I whipped out my phone camera and started recording like this. In fact, I kind of still don't. But hey, there are other totally legal means I know. I shouted them out before, but major credit goes to Bobson Dugnut for finding high quality deleted scenes such as these. And so, I have a version of the movie that works mostly for me. First off, in order to best work with this film, we need as much footage as we can get. We are going to be cutting out plenty of stuff, so the more the merrier. We obviously have the editor's cut and some scenes from the trailers that can be spliced in relatively quickly. We're also going to be reorganizing some of these scenes, so the use of the novelization and how it portrayed the sequence of events also really plays into it. To start off with things to cut, let's start with Harry's amnesia. It's a very dumb way to switch the focus over to Sandman and Venom, and very cheap to Harry's character that was built up for the last 2 movies.
Gotta be careful where you fall.
It's not until Sandman is killed that Harry can take the stage again and then finally get bitch slapped by Peter once more.
Gotta be careful where you fall.
You don't necessarily have to cut the first fight out between him and Peter, but setting their fight, say, after his meeting with Dr. Connors allows for the temptation of the suit to have a bigger impact. This guy is changing and as a result abandons his once best friend in the middle of an alley. This would cause Harry to switch up his approach and decide to target MJ, causing a major personal loss for Peter. We can then use Sandman's second fight as a vent for Peter's frustration. Then, from there, go to the Bugle, Eddie gets fired. Peter takes the suit off, thinks back to something Harry once said, and contemplates putting the suit back on before making Harry more of a mastermind rather than an idiot who keeps losing every battle thrown at him makes him way more threatening and way less cartoonish. Another big thing to cut is Sandman killing Ben. I can talk about how this undermines the importance of responsibility displayed in the first film, but seemingly even No Way Home kind of brushed over this important fact.
It was my fault.
It's important to know this, but not every single Spider-Man villain needs a personal connection to Peter.
The only thing left to me now is my daughter.
Don't get me wrong, I love Goof, I want to get that out of the way. I love how it's presented in the first 2 movies. A lot of it does not work for me in this one. So I took out most of Emo Peter, dumb dialogue, and anything that seemed to not really fit the usual Raimi Goof and more studio-mandated humor. I also think as the story progresses that it gets more serious because this conflict is the most personal it's been in the whole trilogy. If having Peter go straight to dancing after getting Eddie fired and burning his friend's face does not work, then it doesn't need to be there. One more thing I tried doing was fleshing out Venom a bit more. The Spider-Man 3 tie-in comic is awesome and really adds layers to Eddie that the movie kind of fails to develop. I took audio clips from the video games and added them during moments where you can't see Venom, giving him more dialogue.
Fair's fair, Parker. Now it's time for a little one-on-one.
I also deepened his voice to make him more alien and menacing rather than whatever the hell the original version was trying to do.
Yeah, I know all about you.
I also replaced all of his roars with deeper ones to make him seem stronger and more of a threat.
Harder.
During the bell tower scene, I thought it would be important to explain to the audience how Eddie knows Peter's Spider-Man. It's not perfect, I understand that, but I tried with what I could and it works for what I was trying to do for myself. Some of the music also does not scream Spider-Man at all, so I rescored some of it from music from the first 2 movies. The editor's cut loves to make some changes that worsen the movie, such as melodramatic music, dialogue changes, and the removal of a crucial scene in order to justify its pacing. I took some deleted scenes from the trailer, such as the red suit in the mirror and the Venom jump scare. Finally, the name. I originally based it off of Blade Runner The Final Cut because I wanted to add deleted moments but also take some scenes out and make it the last of its kind. Spoiler, it wasn't. So as an overview synopsis of the cut that I was able to make, we have Peter's narration, albeit cut down. I trimmed some of the theater for pacing and because the skinny guy between two fat guys cliche really bothers me that it is in this movie. We then have Harry's interaction with Peter, Flint's introduction minus Uncle Ben's foreshadowing, the symbiote crashing, Aunt May's story time, Flint falling into the accelerator, and then back to Harry. Using the memory refresh but cutting out any actual implication of such, we now have Harry internally struggling with his demons, and seeing his father being the call to action. We then go into MJ's review and Peter leaving, Sandman's birth, a cut down version of the crane scene, the
Spider-Man with his hand in a cookie jar,
and then Harry's goblin chamber. Remember, we are slowly building up Harry in this version. We get the parade, chase, dinner, go straight into the black suit, one fight scene and self-reflection later, Harry gets MJ the old-fashioned way.
It's over.
No.
Peter is mad and takes it out on Marco and then Eddie.
Fire!
One swing later and he ponders what could have happened and we get a deleted scene from Spider-Man 2 which has a shot mirroring a later scene. Peter versus Harry round 2, no extravagant dance crap, a talking from Ben, Bell Tower, Marco's back, forgive yourself, voice change, kidnapping, sees the picture, the final battle is mostly the same, and finally... I'll leave a link to it below, but otherwise enjoy and thanks for watching.
Let it go.
I like being at. It makes me happy.